Hey, welcome to the Huntsville Hustle podcast. We highlight the small businesses that are the backbone of the Rocket City. And my guest today, she's the one, she's the only, J Que Ellis. JQ, thanks for coming on the show.
Hey, thank you so much for inviting me. I'm so excited.
Absolutely. So, man, I've been getting prepared. I drank like 4 Red Bulls, got my chakras lined up. I do all kinds just to try to match your energy. So if you guys don't know JQ, she is doing all the things. That's why an intro couldn't even do her true justice. So I want to start with this question because you do all the things, right? And
Okay.
let's say we're at a networking event and we meet for the first time. How do you answer the question when people say, "So what do you do?"
Okay, so let me see. Where do I start? First of all, let me just say that overall, I kind of help people, encourage people to live excellent and to live better. Okay. And then usually that opens me up for questions on like, what do you mean? Ask me how, or, you know, how do you do that? And so I just let them know, hey, whether it's through wellness, business strategy, travel, media, everything I do is about helping people take ownership of their life, body, their money, their mindset. And I don't do boxes. I do results. So whatever that means per the client or per the situation or for the environment, it's about getting the results that we want, not checking off like specific boxes.
See, that's why I couldn't do an intro. I know one couldn't do you justice. So I figured I'd let you handle that one. And then I like that. I don't do boxes. I do results. So you might need to
I
get
don't.
t-shirts.
I mean, boxes are not my gig. I am literally that person that, whatever the environment is, I'm like a chameleon. Whatever the environment is, I want to make sure that we can adapt, that I can add some type of, level up, elevation, and excellence to it so that we can get the results that we want. Because that's really what life is about, doing something to get something.
That's it. That's that. And
That's
you're
it.
an expert across the board on that one. So I want to kind of take it back to the kind of the first days. Was entrepreneurship, was that kind of plan A, or maybe it was a side hustle that kind of snowballed, or was it just survival turned strategy?
Oh no, bruh. It was definitely not a side hustle. Really, entrepreneurship came for me out of survival mode. It was a strategy that then I turned into an empire in entrepreneurship because I was like, I was going through a time in my life when I didn't grow up thinking about being an entrepreneur or even owning a business. My dreams were dreams of, I want to do this, I want to go there, I want to see that. And so, because my dreams were activation type things, I didn't realize until I got to be an adult. Let me tell you, an adult, that it takes money for those activations to happen. And so, when life hit and I had to become an adult, I had to figure out how to make those dreams happen, especially with a baby. You feel me? And in the midst of figuring it out and moving and keeping going and trying this and trying that, I figured out, it came to light, like the light bulb went off inside of me. I realized that I had skills that people were willing to pay for. It wasn't necessarily about my knowledge or, my background or where I had been. It was about people. And if you had anything that was valuable to some person, then it made you money. And so from that, I decided to use my skills and I turned that into a strategy. And ever since then, anything's been possible for me. I've never looked back.
Man, look at that. Yeah, you've been crushing it too, man. It's been impressive to watch. I've seen you kind of
Hey, it
keep
is
leveling
a
up, like you said, right?
high, low, high, low. But that's the key to being successful or living life. That is my thing, leveling up. It doesn't matter. If you fell backwards and you get back up, you're leveling up. If you where you are and you want to get somewhere else, that's leveling up. So wherever you are, it's not staying there. It's a constant form of leveling up in order to get a better quality of life.
That's it. And at this point, you could pretty much work from anywhere with how technology works and the kind of things that you're doing right now. So
Yes.
why Huntsville, and why is this still such a good place for entrepreneurs?
Huntsville, honestly, was not like on my checklist to come here. Life brought me here. Family brought me here. I did not plan to build my business in Huntsville or even my life. It was really just kind of supposed to be a stop through on my way to leveling up from a massive failure. But it's God's plan. I needed to be here. And then once I got here and I was forced to settle in for a little while, Man, I saw the potential that this city had. And the thing that kept me here the first 10 years was economics, money. It was the smartest, most economical place to build anything at that time, whether you had money or you didn't. You wanted to build a family, you wanted to build a business, you wanted to build yourself, you wanted to build connections. At that time, Huntsville was that for me. It helped me stretch my dollar further. It helped me grow in a space that meant I didn't have to sacrifice the quality of life that I wanted. And it also had a little bit of everything. You know, I'm ADHD and I like to do a lot of different things. And so it had tech, it had art, it had culture, it had nature, it had diversity. And that's what helped to keep me inspired. So, for me, it was definitely not about my business. It was my family that actually even helped me even stay here even after all that. I was connected. And so now I'm still here because Huntsville fits my lifestyle. I can work from anywhere. The airport's 5 minutes away from my house, which is even better. I mean, I can get anywhere. I can catch a flight, run a business, and still stay close to home, all in Huntsville. So in a nutshell, for me, it's the kind of place that feels cozy and safe, but it still gives me access to everything I need in my life. So it works for me. Why would I move?
There you go. Why not? Huntsville's a
Why not?
pretty good spot,
Yeah.
man. I think a lot of people do kind of either wind up here from some way or they get kind of drug here through a job or something like that. They're like, hey, this ain't so bad. Maybe I'll
It's
hang around
not
for a minute.
so bad. Huntsville, it really isn't. I mean, come on. And the growth that we're having right now in Huntsville, baby, make them go crazy. If you're not here and you're tuning in, you might want to check out Huntsville, Alabama, because baby, we are booming. And Huntsville also is not Alabama, as in the traditional style of what people think Alabama is as far as country. Now, we are on the same legislation. We do have the same governing ideologies and all that. But the difference is with Huntsville, the diversity levels help to balance that out. And so you do have more culturally diverse entities in this one
We got a
city
lot
than
going
you
on
do
here.
anywhere
There's a
else in
lot going
Alabama.
on here. So, I mean,
It is.
that's it. That's it.
That's it.
So I talked about that you are doing all the things, right? So
Okay.
how do you keep yourself from burning out? Are there techniques or strategies you use to keep avoiding burnout?
Yes. Boundaries and breath work
B
in
and
real
B, yeah.
life. I mean, I've learned how to say no without guilt. And that's not just in Huntsville, that's everywhere. You feel me? I prioritize my faith, my sleep, and my money in the bank. And I move my body, no matter what kind of movement it is, whether it's hit, slow stretch, walking in the neighborhood, or going to the park. The number one way I stay away from burnout now in my life, I've grown to have a personal relationship with God, and I talk to Him on speed dial quite often. And so I try to stay in alignment to what He and I have agreed upon is the course and the destiny of what I have to do. And that's daily. You know what I'm saying? And when things kind of get shaky around what I feel like that alignment is in that moment, it's got to go because it's a non negotiable for me.
Hey, that's it. You got to have standards, right? You
You
got to
got
have that.
to, man. You got to have standards and boundaries in this day and age.
That's it. And for those listening out there that struggle with, hey, no is a complete sentence, right? That is a complete
No
sentence.
is a complete
You
sentence.
don't have to explain yourself. No is a complete sentence. That's something I've had to learn over the years. I'm a people pleaser by nature, so that's I've had to learn those too. Those are tough, but man,
Yes.
powerful, so powerful
Yes.
once you get going. So you definitely take care of yourself. I mean, you're in great shape. You have tons of energy and your enthusiasm and all those good things. But you've had your health challenges over the years. So not everyone knows about those. So first, how does that help you better able to serve the people you work with? And then how does that kind of increase your sense of urgency as well?
Well, anything that you've been through personal helps you make a deeper connection with someone else who's been through that same thing. So, on the outside, I'm a walking billboard of I don't look like what I've been through. Right. But then when I help to build relationships and people understand the depths of what I've been through, and I'm able to share with them and connect with them that, hey, I have been through this. I have done this. I have done this, that, and the other, then it helps to make it real for them. It becomes even more real for me. And also helps me to let people know I know what pain feels like. I know what it means to ignore your body or to let stress eat you alive. I know those things, not because of what I look like, but because of what I've been through. So when I coach people, I'm not talking at them. I'm kind of walking with them. I'm sharing with them. We're connecting through the stories and the things, the challenges that I've been through because I've been through them, right? And so my sense of urgency comes because I don't want people to wait too long. I don't want you to have to go through what I've been through. If I can share some knowledge or some tips or some advice, so the same struggle that I see you going through doesn't have to be at the same depth or that they don't have to stay there as long. I'm so excited about that, you know. And the number one thing, even about challenges in that way, is because I know God led me to the health and wellness industry because of my body. I began to care for my body. And when I began to care for my body and understanding it's the only place that my soul and my spirit can live, right? And my whole thing is living life to the fullest. Well, that has to happen from the inner to the outer. And understanding that that body is the housing space for that, I began to connect that my body is prime real estate. Feel me? And so in that moment, that allowed me to be able to connect, to share, to, just be that vessel where people can understand you don't have to look like what you've been through. But even still, there's someone that has been through that who can help you get on the other side of looking like what you've been through as well.
The best coaches I know have been through their own health problems, right? They've been there, they've walked that path, and all they are, just like what you talked about, they're just a guide. Like, hey, I've been on this path, I know how to get through it, just walk with me right here. I'm not going to talk down to you, I'm not going to talk at you, like you said. Hey, I'm just here, your guide. Let me go with you. I know the way. Just follow me.
Let me share.
That's
Some of the things I may have for you should help you get on the other side of it faster, not feel so bad going through it or whatever the case may be. But God puts us there to share things, to testimony with people, because we are not the only ones. If he wanted you to be the only one to be going through something, the rest of us would never have gone through it. There would not be a reason for us to walk and talk with each other.
Yeah, that's it. You go through those things so you can help others.
That's right.
Pull you
Once
through it,
you
you can
get
help
on the
someone.
other side of it, I mean, it's your story, but it's a testimony. It's a story that's a testimony. It helped you get through that so you could help another. It's a step up. It's a part of that leveling up.
That's it. That's part of the deal. That's what you do.
Yep.
That's what you do so well. So, I mean, I'm curious. You wake up. I mean, you got so many irons in the fire. How do you
Uh-huh.
decide? All right, this what gets done now. What am I working on today? How do you decide all that?
Well, in the mornings, the first thing I do is it's a very sacred process for me. I get up early, and you know me, I'm up real early. 3:30, 4 o'clock is my internal alarm, right? And I do that so that before the world needs me, I can connect and spend time with God, with myself, my inner soul, and view what my top three priorities are for that day. And then once I've taken care of that sacred 30 minutes and I can start moving towards those goals at 4 a.m., that sets the vibe for the day, baby. Because the top three priorities are the things that my mind is focused on. I know God has given me the energy, the power, and the sources to move within. Those are the three things that are going to make this day successful, that so that I can set up the success for whatever the future God has for me as well. And then I go full force. I lead them. I do what I'm supposed to do because I feel like if it's not tied to my purpose or my peace, it can wait.
Hey, I'm a top three guy too. You get those top three. If I get these, today's a win, right?
That's a
I
win.
work in threes as
Some
well.
people try to get 50 things done in a day. Again, I'm getting 53 things done in the entire year, but not every single day. Those 3 times whatever number days it is going to help me accomplish the 53. But I do prioritize. It's only 3 things a day.
I mean, you get those big three though. You're moving the needle for sure. So that's
You
it.
get the
So
big 3. But Joe, if you even get the small 3, it moves the big needle because you got to get the small things to get to the big things. And sometimes when you go straight to the big things and you miss the small things, your needle moves even slower.
yep,
So
yep.
I try not to put a measurement
I've
on
lived
it.
that. Yeah, I've
Yeah,
lived
I
that
try
for
not
sure.
to put a measurement on them. I try to put a priority level on them because the priority is what's going to help keep the meter moving at the rate of speed that I'm trying to move at. And that's different for each person.
There you go. You just run it through that funnel. Does it make a dollar or a difference? If the answer is no, you don't get to come in the top three.
I'm using it. If it doesn't make a dollar or a difference, it's got to go.
You got to go. You got to go. So you're big on paying it forward and helping the next generation, kind of
I
shaping them.
am.
What's some ways that you do that right now?
Well, right now I do a lot of mentoring. I teach. I have webinar. I work with Google to do webinars and share knowledge. Basically, I show up. I love working with youth entrepreneurship programs, wellness workshops, of course, and that's where I have my realest connections with young people. I used to teach elementary school. And so I'm very intentional about pouring back into our youth because I wish I had someone like me when I was in this era. Now, don't get me wrong, there were people that were pouring into me, but it was more push me. I do the type of I want to pour into back into our younger people by equipping them different than doing it for them. That thing is the generation for me. That was the missing aspect of why adulting was so hard for me. I was able to get mentored too, but it was doing the things for me instead of teaching me to how to do those things, mentoring me on the execution. And so that's why I'm really adamant about let's do this practical. I need you to learn this for yourself. Let's take it step by step instead of just setting up the website for them, or just saying, hey, this is the AI tool you need to use. Let's talk about how we got there. Let's do the lessons on what that can be so that, again, when the next generation comes, they are equipped with the tools and they don't just have resources, because sometimes you may have the resources, but if you don't know how to use them,
Hey, there's
you
a
got a
lot.
hammer
Yeah,
and you got nails. But if you don't know, you bang the hammer to get the nail in, all you got is a hammer and nails. You're not going to get the result that you want until you know how to use those resources.
man, that is so valuable. Yeah, they talk about you be the person you wish you had as a kid, and you're doing
Yes,
that for somebody. That's a great way to go pay it
yes,
forward
I
right
am.
there. So I heard a rumor, and I'm always curious about how people start out. So tell me about your first office.
Woo, baby, my first office was my dining room table. And when I say my dining room table, my first place on my own was a little studio apartment where the bed and the couch were the same. The dining room table and the office and the change your clothes, one table, which was everything, right? In the little hub. I didn't even have a full stove. I had a little plug-in toaster heater thing and a tabletop refrigerator stove with a kid. I was a single parent. And so my first office, it was literally the round table. It was so funny. I'm such an atmospherically driven person. I would have to set my table up, put the cloth on it, put my little stationary pull out drawer and my stapler and all that kind of stuff on there whenever I was planning to use it as my office. And the functions that I had, I didn't even have a computer at that time. I had sticky notes, posted sticky notes, which are my advice today still. A manual calendar that I had to open up and rip pages out and do different things with. I had a wrap to keep my baby on my hip so my hands could be free. And I had big dreams. Vision boarding at that time, they didn't call it vision boarding. They called it visualizing, dream visualizing. And we would cut things out and I would put them on that back wall behind that table. And it would help me stay focused on, okay, the matter at hand while I'm sitting at this table. JQ, it's not about making as much money you can. It's about setting up the future to get out of the situation you're in. Understand what I'm saying? And so that space helped me cry. It helped me create. And it helped me build my first business in the sense of up, down, failure, structure, all the things just on that little table. And it was like, I was in that space for almost 2.5 years until we had a house fire. I mean, a building fire. And so now when I think about that in retrospect to how I have my office set up now, it's set up the same. The things are just more fancy. It's still got the same functions, but I don't know if you see behind me, I keep an inspirational wall of, different things in art. I have my post-it notes all in front of me on my big super duper calendar. The difference I have now is I have a computer, of course, technology with a screen. And instead of the baby on my hip, shoot, I got 4 businesses on my hip that are my babies, right? And I still have big dreams in front of me that I'm leveling up to.
Man, there you go. Do you ever, how often do you think about those first days when you look back?
Man, sometimes nostalgia hits me, and it's like every time I'm starting a new aspect of something on my job or something that's like, oh God, I got to do this new thing. I kind of intentionally try to go back to where I started because it gives me the motivation to say, you did that, girl, this is easy. You did that. Oh my God, you accomplished that. Don't forget when you did this. It kind of gives me the motivation and it reminds me of the confidence and the power that I have. So then the thing that I'm facing in that moment becomes much smaller than it really initially was when I first looked at it.
Yeah, I think people forget how awesome they are and the things they've overcome, and you are more resilient and stronger than you think. I'm like you. I work with a lot of moms, and hey, you created a human being. Hey, you believe
Right?
that? You did that? You could do anything, right? If that's anything's possible, right? If you can get through that,
Yes.
man, and
Anything is possible.
yeah,
That
you're over there.
was my dad saying to us. Anything is possible if you can visualize it. If God has given you the capacity to visualize and dream and wonder about it or have some type of spark about it, then it means it's possible for you. It's possible.
Hey, and that's where it starts, right there. Start with a
Yep.
few sticky notes and a few dreams, right? Look at you now.
And look at me now.
Yeah, you got still
Yes.
got the sticky notes, but the dreams are coming true. What can you tell me about the upcoming book? I know you've been working hard on this book. What can you tell me?
Baby. Well, okay. So this book I'm doing this one is pretty special to me. When I wrote this book, I didn't write this book as a published book. I really was just writing because I was challenged to do the NaMoWriMo challenge, which is a writing challenge where you write 50,000 words in 30 days. Now, the words really don't have to make sense. There's no real, structure. It's for people who are writers or beginning writers or, want to get into the habit of a writing lifestyle. So I was like, oh, shoot, I thought I can do that. No issues, no worries. So, of course, me logistically driven, I wrote it out. I put in my calculator 30 days, 50,000 words. And I was like, oh, hold up. Oh, that's easy. At least I thought it was. So my first 2 days, and I'm a writer. I love words. I can sit down and write something in 2 seconds. Writing for publications for so long, it should have been easy. Writing a book was totally different. And so I just started writing. And then I was writing and found inspiration and was like, oh God, this, that, and the other, boom, boom, blah. So I submitted it, what I had written before. I didn't even count the words. Never even counted them. I submitted it thinking, okay, they're going to give me feedback so I can find out how to be a better writer, never imagining that I would win. And when they sent me the thing back saying I won, I had written 74,000 plus words in 30 days. Actually, I finished the what I thought I was finished with. I couldn't find anything else to write. It was 27 days. And what I decided to write on was I decided to write a parable story of different times in my life. And so from that came From the Pole to the Palace. That's the title of the book. And it's really just a raw, unfiltered story about struggle, survival, and transformation. It's
Man,
about how a woman had a big struggle in her life and she found God in the lowest place of her life. And from that, she built a life that she could be proud of. And even after losing almost everything 2 or 3 times in that life, she still came out successful. And so the story kind of took me to myself. And it was like, you know what? I think every woman should understand that who she is does not have to be who she was. And then to understand that her past doesn't have to disqualify her for the future that she wants. And so that's pretty much what Pole to the Palace was. It's a really intriguing story based on parable parts of my life. And Again, it's about struggle, survival, and transformation.
Man, I know people are like, hey, I got to get some eyes on that. How can
Yes,
they stay
baby,
up on that?
listen. It is in the final stages of editing. And when I won this challenge, and so you have to go through the steps, which I love about it because again, it's teaching me. I'm new to writing. I've independently published a book too, but I've never been published by a publishing company. And so having this opportunity to go through the steps, understand what it is, learning about how it works and all of that kind of stuff, and doing it step by step by step based on the system that they have has really been a game changer for me calling myself an author in real life. You feel me? And so it's due to be published February of 2026. And I'm really excited about it. Really excited about it.
Yeah. I'm excited for you. I got to read that one. That sounds amazing right there. So
Yes,
I know you're like me. You're ready for that thing to be ready right now, aren't you?
I am. Shoot, they should never told me that it was so good, and then they tell you, oh yes, the context is really great, JQ, but we got to work on the formatting, the tense change. We got to make sure. And I'm thinking, God, all of those things involved. It's a business. It has a systematic, a formulary, way to do it for it to be done appropriate. And like I told you, I'm a woman that operates in excellence. And I try my best to stay in integrity. I fall short sometimes, but thank God that He forgives me and He gives me another chance. Humans aren't so forgiving, but I don't answer to them. You feel me? My higher call is God. And so I really try to stay in that excellence and that integrity lane. And so working with this company and understanding how the author and the publishing and all that works is definitely leveling me up on the excellence area of being an author, a published author at that. Yeah.
That's it. Because man,
Yeah.
I've written a couple books, but man, I don't know how commas work. I just make it rain commas, hope they go in the right spot, and I don't know.
Me too.
And I would get stuff back from the editor, and it would look like someone just, I mean, just
Baby,
put a whole red pen on.
it's like I can't even find the good parts.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good learning experience for sure. That's for sure.
Yes.
So I mean, kind of looking at all that, kind of tie it into your book right here and all the things you've been doing. What do you want your legacy to be?
The main thing I want my legacy to be is that I left a foundation for people to own their power through excellence and integrity. Period. Owning your power because we all have the power to live in excellence, to be successful, to live life to the fullest on your terms. And I also want to leave a legacy of people to know what healing looks like, that healing looks possible. Because I feel like I gave voice to things that were often shamed out loud, especially in my community. And legacy is a form of freedom. So it also sets up the future. Those people that I've touched or those people that I'm mentoring to access another level of freedom.
Hey, that's it. And I think sometimes if you can just see if she can do it, I can do it. I think that's
That's
so
exactly right.
powerful and across the board right there. So you've shown what is possible from your little tiny desk with the notepads around there to where you are now, multiple businesses, books, published author. Man, it's been amazing to watch. So that's so cool.
Yes. Thank you so much, Joe. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. And then this is probably going to be the most prestigious moment of your life right here. We're about to do the lightning round right here. So I
Okay,
know
okay,
you're ready.
okay.
So we're about to knock this lightning round out. So, all right. So the first person you call when you got good news.
My mom.
You got to call mom, right? So,
My
what's
mom
the
is
most expensive mistake you'll never repeat?
buying a firm.
One book every business owner in Huntsville should read, and why should they read it?
Who Stole My Cheese? Because it's a great book to connect what you may be going through to solutions of what may you can get to. And it's very,
Good.
very practical, easy to read. Anybody can relate to Who Stole My Cheese.
Yeah, good answer right there. What's your go-to glute exercise?
My go-to glute exercise is hip thrusters.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I think it's number one. So,
Mm-hmm,
something
mm-hmm.
you've learned recently.
Ooh, sit back and wait on God.
Hmm, that's good. I think we all need to learn that one right there. So, all right, let's say you walk into a party. What song should be playing when you walk in?
Living my life like it's golden. Living my life like it's golden. Living my life like it's golden. Yes. Yes, right now,
I just
yes.
picture. Yeah, I can picture you in there waving at everybody, do a little twirl. Yeah, I'm picturing. Yeah, that's just like
Hey, yes,
how I pictured it. Oh man, it's been so much fun catching up with you and learning all the
yes.
things you got going on. It's a lot. I couldn't even do it in the intro. So thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for what you're doing. And giving people hope. I mean, you do that every day, and hope and healing. The world needs more people like JQ.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You too, Joe. You know, we work in the same industry, and it's lovely to be in an industry and in a community of people who are like minded, that can help each other grow, who can share, and who can hold each other accountable. Because little do you know that watching your post and seeing you do what you do on your side helps to hold me accountable for my consistency to be the leader that I said I was going to be, to continue to help people in this industry, and to find innovative ways to connect to people. You are so good at that. You have so many innovative ways to connect to people on that level, because health and wellness is a very
That's what it should be
hard
all about, right?
connective.
Some people are just
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we need. Just some people just need that one connection to take them to the next level. That's why we want to start
Yes.
this podcast right here. You're great about that as well. So I know people are listening right now. How do people follow you? How do they work with you? How do they catch up with you?
The best way to work, follow, catch up with me is at jqnow.com on all social media platforms, and my website as well. And listen, when you DM me, I am the person responding. So give me a little time. Now, sometimes those comments take me a little while, but y'all give me a little leeway. It's still me personally. It is not a service. It is still me personally responding. So I'm still going to do it. But yeah, give me a little time. And email. Now, email is the fastest way for me to get a response, and that's jqnow@gmail.com. Everything is JQU.
There you go. I'll link all that in show notes. People can click on there if they need to, highlight, send you messages, whatever they need to do. But hey, give her some time, man. Give her a little time. She's running 4 businesses out there.
I think 36 hours is what it says on there. Give me a minimum of 36 hours. Those people who need to connect with me immediately and as an emergency, they know how to do that.
Appreciate it. Hey, if you're listening right now, please share JQ's message. Someone
Yes.
out there needs to own their power, and JQ can help them do that. So please share this episode and come back next week on the Huntsville Hustle podcast.